You've probably heard that the gap between rich and poor is widening. But did you ever wonder what wealth inequality sounds like, or what it looks like? I invited my coworkers Ashley and Sarah over to help me make some wealth inequality soup. Imagine all the privately held wealth in the United States. It's about $56 trillion. We're going to represent it with beans. This little bean is worth $5,000 of private wealth. Private wealth includes savings, shares of corporations, speedboats, diamond rings, land, everything that can be privately owned. And this is worth $5,000, private wealth. There are about 112 million households in the United States. If each household had an equal share of all the private wealth in the country, Sarah's going to show you what that would look like.
Remember that each bean represents $5,000 in wealth. This is what one household's share would sound like. That was 100 beans, representing $500,000 per household.
But of course, wealth is not evenly distributed. If you look at the bottom half of all the households in the United States, what would their average wealth sound like? Ashley's going to show us that.
If we average together all the wealth of the bottom half of U.S. households, here's what their share would sound like. That was 2 beans, or about $10,000 in wealth.
In reality, wealth is very concentrated. According to the Federal Reserve, the richest 1% of households owns over a third of all private wealth. The sound you're about to hear is the average wealth of each household in the richest 1%. That was 33,400 beans, representing $167 million. That's the average wealth per household in the top 1%. What you heard and saw was the sound and look of wealth inequality, where the richest 1% of households have an average of $167 million per household, and the average bottom half of households have less than $10,000 in private wealth. The real wealth, however, resides not in the top 1%, but in the top 1/10 of 1%. Unfortunately, we don't have enough beans or a soup pot big enough to show you what that looks like. Does this matter? Does the inequality of wealth matter? In the last 30 years, there's been a massive redistribution of wealth from the bottom to the top. This extreme inequality matters. Concentrated wealth is concentrated political power, the power to influence our laws, our culture, our elections. The concentration of wealth leads to economic instability and poor public health. To learn more about the costs of inequality, visit our website at extremeinequality.org. Learn about the actions that you can take to reduce the concentration of wealth and power. Time for soup.